Okay, so on this problem, same as all the other problems, we just think to ourselves, what is this? What do I multiply this by up here to get this? So x would need to be multiplied by x squared to get x cubed, right? So x squared times x would give me x cubed. But remember, I got to multiply that by every term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply x squared by negative 5. Well, that just gives me negative 5x squared. Okay. And then x squared times x gives me a positive x cubed. Now, a common mistake here is people will subtract this first term, because remember, when you do long division, you multiply that out and then you subtract this product. In other words, I'm supposed to subtract this, but sometimes kids forget to subtract this. Now, when you minus a minus, it becomes a plus. That's the other thing, too. They'll see that minus sign and they go, oh, yeah, I'm subtracting. No, you're supposed to subtract whatever you multiply. And if what you multiply is a negative number, when you minus a minus, it becomes a plus. So that's a very common mistake. Anyways, these add up to 0, and then I get negative 15x squared plus 5x squared leaves me with a negative 10x. Now, if you don't add this up right, the whole problem's wrong. So if you're not good with positive or negative integers, you need to use a calculator to make sure that you understand that this is negative 10x squared. If you just add this up and you say 20 or you say positive 10x, if this is not right, the whole problem will be wrong. So you think about that. Now I'm going to drop down the negative 70, or not negative, positive 71x. But again, I'm going to think to myself, what do I multiply this by to get this? Well, I'm going to multiply it by negative 10. That's how I get the 10. And then I have an x to the first power here. I'll need an x to the first power here, because that's how I get 10x squared. I need two x's. But then I multiply it out. So I've got negative 10 times negative 5. That gives me a negative, or actually a positive 50x. And then what I'm going to do is multiply that negative 10x times negative 10x, which gives me negative 10x squared. Now, before I add that up, what I need to do is I need to subtract it. So when I minus a minus, this becomes a plus. And this I'm just going to subtract, right? Because it starts off as positive. I start off adding 50x, and then I'm going to subtract 50x. These cancel. 10x squared minus 10x squared is 0. And then this becomes 71 minus 50, which is just 21x. I'm going to drop this down. Minus 105. Again, I think to myself, what do I multiply this by to get this? Well, this one's pretty easy. I'm just going to multiply this by 21, a positive 21. And then I push it through. So then 21 times 5 is actually a negative 105. And then 21 times x is just 21x. Again, what I need to do is I'm going to need to subtract this. So subtracting a positive, you're just minusing it. But when you minus a minus, it becomes a plus. So then these cancel and these cancel, and I have a remainder of 0. Now, let's say Mr. Adams made a mistake